Hey everyone, I'm back with some more Saturday scrapbooking, continuing to work on my pictures from South Africa. So for this layout, I have 3 tree pictures for this one page here. These trees were on the grounds of the Furlands, the property that our friends have, and I was wandering around taking pictures of the property while my husband was working on this old tractor. So I've got some pictures of him with part of a tractor there that he's carrying. Him and the groundskeeper, Patrick, were working on this old tractor. We knew before we went that there was this tractor that Mike was able to work on, and he was so excited. He brought some tools from Canada to South Africa in order to work on it, and this was one of the highlights for him. So this is kind of the basic layout of what I'm planning for this time. I am going to bring in a stamp by All in Create, and it is called Dot Dash Grid. There it is there, and I'm just going to use that one stamp, and I'm going to use some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to add some stamping around these pictures here. So I'll just move this one page out of the way, because I'm just going to work on this one first. So I'm going to get an acrylic block out, and then taking a moment here to figure out the positioning of these 3 pictures. They are 4x6 pictures, but I believe I cut the width down just a tiny bit. I just took 1/8 of an inch off of the width of each of those just to space them out a little bit nicer, give a tiny little bit of white in between them. And I've got my T-square ruler, and I'm just figuring out the placement of them, top and bottom, and then I'm just putting little pencil marks where the pictures kind of start and end so that I know where to add the stamps. And by this one, I realized I didn't need to keep the picture on and draw underneath it. That this was a way easier way of doing it, but oh well, it's done now. So now I'm getting that stamp out, and I'm just adding a bit of brown ink along those lines just so that there's a little bit of stamping peeking out the top and the bottom of each of those pictures. If you saw my last video of Saturday scrapbooking, I did a video of myself and a couple other ladies at a high school speaking to some high school students. And while I was there, my husband was here at the Furlands, the grounds here, working on the tractor. So these pictures here on this layout are after the school. When we finished at the school, I was brought back to the grounds here, and I wandered around and took some beautiful nature pictures. I have a whole bunch more pictures, but I'm only scrapbooking a few, so I decided on these 3 trees because they were just, I don't know, big and majestic, and I liked them, so I thought I would put them here. So I wandered around doing that while Mike and Patrick were working on the tractor, and this was the first day of actually working on the tractor. Mike had, I think it was 3 days total. Yes, 3 days total that he could work on the tractor, and they got actually a lot done on this first day. So I'm just lining the pictures back up again to see how they look with all the stamping. Making sure the spacing is right. Now I'm just going to measure, make sure I've got them where I want them to go. And once I have them in place, I will start securing them down. That picture on the right, I wasn't quite happy with the stamping on the top. It's kind of lacking a little bit, but I'm spacing them all out, and I'm going to get my tape runner and start adhering those 2 pictures down because they're in the right spot. Flip them over and adhere the tops of those pictures, and then I'm going to take that one off and just add a tiny bit more stamping on the top there. I know it's just a tiny bit, but sometimes a tiny bit makes a big difference. So again, lining that picture up now, and then I will secure that one in place. And I'm happy with that for now. I will do some journaling on that page in a little bit, but let's work on the next page. So bring these pictures out again. I'm not doing any stamping on this page. I thought about it, but these pictures here, yeah, they just didn't really leave room for stamping, I didn't feel. So I'm just adhering these ones down in place. I apologize if you can hear the train that just decided to go past my house. But anyways, just getting these pictures down into place, and then I am going to bring out a word from the chipboard bits by 49 and Market, and it is the package called Curiosities in Willow Grove. So I'm just bringing out the word that says captured, and then from another 49 and Market set, I have that little one that says moments. And I'm happy with that placement, so I'm going to adhere those two pictures down into place. And then that captured is going to go there. So I've got my glue press, using some art glitter glue there to stick that word chipboard down. And then this smaller word moment, I want it tucked into the corner of that picture, so I just turned the page around just to make it easier. And that page is looking good. So now I've got a Tombow pen that I'm going to do my journaling. So basically what I'm writing here says, I wandered around the Furlands taking pictures of the grounds while Mike and Patrick worked on this old tractor. This was one of the highlights of the trip for Mike. He really wanted to get this tractor running. He had 3 days to resurrect it. Several people told him it couldn't be done, but by the 3rd day, this old tractor was up and running and the students were cheering. I believe this tractor had been sitting on the property for like a couple years or so, not running, so I don't know, and it's old. It was a big deal to Mike. He's a mechanic, so he really enjoyed doing this. And with that, this layout is done. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a closer look here. Bring it up here so you can see just that little bit of stamping, to me, just really does a lot on that page. And then my chicken scratch writing there. But I think it's important to have your own writing rather than just typing and stuff. Sometimes it's good to have your writing on your page. And here's the second layout, or second page of the layout. Pretty basic. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you want to see any more of my scrapbooking or card making videos. I appreciate that. Have a wonderful, peaceful day.